Hold it.
Pour it up. That'll do.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do.
That'll do.
Do you need another one or not?
I might have a top up.
You're on the other bottle, aren't you?
I am, because you decided to drink the Jam Shed and get an extra bottle of Jam Shed out when I'm drinking Morrison's.
No, hang on a minute. You're drinking that nice stuff that I got. It's just that you're drinking the cherry wine with that chocolate in it.
Oh, I. Go on then.
It's nice, don't get me wrong, but I'd already had a glass of Jam Shed, and Jam Shed is so sweet. I couldn't go on to this afterwards.
Thank you.
Oh, fucking hell. Overdid it a bit there.
Bloody hell. Just a little bit. We'll need it for this podcast, though.
Just a little bit, work it a little, get hot. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was Liberty X. That's the band I was in. Jessica Taylor.
That's not Liberty X, is it?
It is, yeah. Just a little bit more. Yeah, no, exactly. This is why we shouldn't drink and do podcasts. Anywho, well,
you'll get renditions of Liberty X with probably bad lyrics and.
Excuse me, I was in Liberty X for several years, and we won plenty of awards.
Right, how many years ago was that? And how many times you performed since?
So I was in Liberty X until 2004. No, it wasn't. 2006 was when I quit Liberty X.
Yeah.
And I went off and did other things.
Yeah.
And
exactly. So you haven't sang these songs since then, so you don't remember the lyrics.
I don't remember all the lyrics, and to be honest with you, even when I was in Liberty X, I didn't remember all the lyrics because they're quite complex lyrics.
Yeah, they are.
They're very complicated to remember.
Sometimes when I listen to Liberty X, the lyrics just get to me so much. I just end up just wanting to cry.
That's how I felt when I was in Liberty X. I just wanted to cry.
Yeah.
Mainly because they kept dressing me in leather and PVC and stuff. You're not allowed to do that face at me. Welcome to episode 9 of the Wandering Moon podcast with me, Jess Taylor, and with Jaimi Shrive.
Hi.
And we are going to be talking today about porn.
Yes.
Which is... It's personal to everybody, but this is we're gonna draw on our personal experiences as well. Yeah. It's probably not safe for work, but fucking hell, which one of our podcasts is?
Yeah.
Not as an episode yet that's safe for work. If you're listening to this at work, you work at a mint place, and we want to work there.
Or you're very sneaky.
Or you work from home like every other fucker at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Not safe for work has just taken on a complete other meaning now. Not safe for the living room or the bed or the kitchen. So we're going to have a discussion about our stance on porn, our experiences of watching porn, and just everything. So obviously it goes without saying that it's explicit content. We have both had a significant amount to drink, so fuck only knows what's coming out in this.
But that was the only way we're going to do this podcast, I think.
Before we start, sorry mums, sorry dads, sorry to everyone who's under the illusion that me or Jaimi have never watched porn and have never had sex.
Yes.
Sorry.
Shocking content in here.
Yeah, although to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure my parents watch porn.
Oh my god. I don't want to think about that.
So I don't think they're not going to be sitting there and being like, oh my god. Why
really?
Are you pulling that? Well, I don't know if they watch porn anymore because I left home fucking donkeys years ago. I don't know, do I?
I don't know.
Should we get her on the podcast?
No.
Should we ring her up?
You can phone a friend. 50-50.
As part of this podcast, we're going to be ringing our parents and asking them about their porn habits.
We are not. Oh my god. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
I'm sorry, I'm just having... that would just be a brilliant podcast.
I'm saying anyway, moving swiftly on. Like, I'm not going to ask you when you started watching porn and how old you were. So, Jessica, how old were you when you started watching porn?
When I started actually watching porn?
Watching
like
porn
properly? Or do you mean like the first time I've ever seen porn?
No, not watching porn to be like, oh, this is what porn is. Watching porn to masturbate to.
Probably 18. I'm being serious. Fucking hell, did you just laugh at me for being the legal age? What, are you going to say 9? Don't say you were going to say 9.
I think I was 10.
Really?
10 or 11.
That's madness, man.
But that's only bit like if I could have found online porn at a younger age, I probably would have done.
I found porn before that, or I was shown it by other people, but it wasn't something that I would seek out to like get off on, like at all. I was much older when I started doing that. Much older. I think the first time I ever saw porn was on a family member's computer. I'm not going to go into detail here. Was on a family member's computer by accident, and they were an adult, and I was in an adult's house where children did not live, and I went on their computer to play solitaire. And it, like, a pop-up came up, and I had no idea what it was.
Oh, so it wasn't
and
like...
it was like dial-up internet, and it went like that for like ages. Yeah, exactly. The sound effect. But like, I remember that I'd gone on a website, maybe I was playing a game, and then I had gone on solitaire, and then this pop-up came up, and it was porn.
Yeah, do you remember those?
And I had never in my life seen like a fully naked person, like, you know, on the TV or on a computer or whatever. And I was absolutely blown away by it. And I
How old were you?
If I had to guess, 9, 10.
Oh, really?
Maybe 11.
Yeah.
Around that age, where I was just like, what the hell is this? And it was like on the computer. And then I remember being like, oh my God, and like, how do you get it off? Like, because I was so freaked out by it.
Yeah.
That was like the first time. And then I had a few other times over like my sort of early teens, like 11, 12, 13, where I got shown it by someone else. Oh my God, do you remember that fucking 2 Girls, 1 Cup or whatever it was called?
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Honestly, all that went around my school when I was a teenager, and everyone was like, you've got to see it. And I was like, why? And it was basically the point of 2 Girls, 1 Cup at the time was that you were supposed to like sit and watch it with your mates and laugh at each other's reaction, because so many people would throw up or gag because it was so horrific.
Yeah.
And I remember it had been going around school and people were like, oh, have you seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup? And I was just like, no, I don't know what that is. And then I was round this lad's house with a load of mates. There was about 7 or 8 of us, and the parents had gone out. I was like, oh my God, let's watch 2 Girls, 1 Cup. And we were like, see.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, I was watching, I was like, like, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I was like, is this porn now? Like, nah. I was so like baffled by that.
No, there was other stuff around that time where it was like Pain Olympics. And
what's
like,
Pain Olympics?
Do I want to know? You don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
My friend Orin showed me all this stuff, and it was just awful. Like,
it was porn.
Yeah.
But it was pain.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Like, it wasn't even like
Fucking
BDSM or anything. It was just fucked up shit.
What? Oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah,
what, like just
weird.
Violent porn?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It was like violent towards yourself. I don't know. It was weird. Like, I don't want to go into it. It was just fucking weird. But like showing your mates that sort of stuff isn't the same as watching porn to like on your own to.
But we know
masturbate
that
to.
we know statistically that the majority of children will first be exposed to porn by somebody showing it to them, or by an accidental access. We know that from research. For especially the NSPCC did this piece of research that found that little children, even today, we know that 50% of 10-year-olds are watching porn. But then when the NSPCC did this study about how they accessed that porn in the first place, the majority of children were shown it by an older sibling or an older peer, or they got it accidentally. There was only a small handful of children that were deliberately searching it up, and all of which were boys.
But the ones who'd been deliberately searching for it would have been shown it
At some point, yeah, because they wouldn't have known what it was otherwise,
no.
would they? So it's safe to say then that, like, for several years of my adult life, I definitely used porn quite frequently. Did you?
I only stopped once I was introduced to radical feminism.
Yeah. I stopped before radical feminism. Like, I stopped before I fully understood radical feminism and the concepts. I just made this active decision that I thought it was unethical and I thought it was exploitative and it wasn't compatible with my views on sexual violence and violence against women and rape and trafficking. And I had to stop watching it. But I'm not going to fucking sit here and pretend that wasn't hard, because I think I was probably addicted to it at some point.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger.
Definitely. I think
I had to make like a fucking effort to stop watching porn. That's terrifying, isn't it?
I think so many people are addicted to porn.
Yeah.
There are so many people who can't get off, like, on just, you know, thinking about something or, you know, or even just looking at a picture.
I agree with that. So, like, I have a friend who's a therapist and she works with teenage lads who are so damaged by porn that, like, she was telling me about this teenage lad she was working with, obviously not in, like, any detail, like, just to the point where she was like, oh, I'm holding this case at the moment of a teenage boy who can only... So he has a girlfriend and he has sex with her, but he can only come if he has a laptop next to her head playing porn. So he puts his laptop or an iPad with porn on it next to her face and he watches that whilst fucking her. And that's the only way he can come. And then when she was working in therapy with him, he was just saying to her, like, I cannot come off just her body or just a sensation of sex. Like, I have to be visually stimulated by porn. Like, and it was extreme porn as well. It wasn't just like fucking, oh, it's the washing machine repairman. Like, none of that shit. That's all gone.
Yeah.
Porn ain't got no plots no more.
Yeah.
Like, so, and then she, like, I've got another friend who works with, like, similar, who was telling me that they're working with lads who are genuinely, like, repulsed by real female bodies.
What do you mean by real?
Like, as in non-surgically, like, not been surgically enhanced. That just, like, normal. So she was working with a lad who was
mine?
like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, so like, I think she was working with this lad who was like 18 or 19, and he was literally saying, if she's not, like, stick thin with massive implants, like massive breast implants, and, like, has got, like, what he called, like, the perfect pussy, and, like, was completely hairless and was tanned and was skinny as fuck, and, like, looked basically like a porn actress, then he literally couldn't even get it up. Because it just wasn't, like, he'd been so drenched in, like, this pornified imagery of women that he couldn't, he was saying to her, he really does like girls and he wants a girlfriend, but he is not sexually attracted. He's like, he can't do it because they don't look like the girls in porn.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
When you were watching porn then, when you were younger, was it normalised? Was, like, everyone watching porn and it was talked about?
Nope.
No, it wasn't talked about when I was younger either.
No, definitely not. And I think that I think I was definitely an anomaly in terms of, not only was I very young and masturbating to porn, but I was a girl.
I don't think that's uncommon. I think girls just get socialised not to fucking admit it. Boys are like, yeah, porn.
No,
wanking off.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think that a lot fewer, like, fewer girls do than boys.
I think fewer girls do it. I agree with that, but I don't subscribe to the view that girls don't do it.
Oh no, of course.
Because I think there is a view where it's like, oh, boys watch porn. Like, well, no, girls and boys are definitely watching porn. But I would suggest that it's less girls.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I definitely didn't see watching porn as normalised at all when I was younger and like when I watched it. I also, no fucking surprise here, have not watched hardly any het porn, like, ever, because it repulsed me and I had such an issue with it. But then now, obviously, as I'm much, like, sort of more developed in my thinking around feminism and around sexual violence and around porn, I now understand that even the lesbian porn I was watching as a youngster is heavily het. Does that make sense? It's for the male gaze.
Yeah, of course.
It's not for actual lesbians.
No, of course.
And I actually believe that that's what it had an impact on my sexuality, actually, and on the basis that I used to question whether I was actually a lesbian or whether I was just over-sexualised or whether the stuff I watched was hyper-sexualising women. And then I used to question, like, you know, is this a real attraction to women or am I just hyper-sexualising them because I watched loads of porn when I was younger? So that meant that even when I was younger, I was, like, aware of the shit that I was watching. Honestly, I'm so glad that I can honestly say that I've not been exposed to hardly any heterosexual porn because I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah.
I do not want to see some guy fucking some... I don't want to see guys fucking at all. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did you watch porn?
Why did I watch porn?
It'll probably be quite different for me versus you because you were so much older when you started watching it. Like, even with our age difference, I was watching porn before you. Like, by the year, I was watching porn before you.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, for sure. I actually probably... Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, actually. Why did I watch porn? To just get off. Like, it was just simple. It was quick. I used to enjoy it. It was private. It was about me. I don't know. Like, it just felt like this private thing that was for me. I don't feel like that now. Because even as that comes out of my mouth now, all I can think about is the fact that I could claim, like, oh, it was private, it was just for me, all that bullshit. But it, like, at the end of the day, now I see that as still heavily exploitative and violent and abusive and oppressive of women and girls. So that's not how I saw it after, like, you know, I stopped watching it in my mid 20s, like sort of 25-ish, and like stopped watching it. But before that, before 25, I would have, I don't know, maybe there was some cognitive dissonance around it that I wasn't actually fully comfortable with what I was doing. And I do think it takes you to make a strong decision to be like, no, I'm never going to do this ever again. I'm not going to access it again. I'm not going to watch women get fucking drugged up and exploited like this ever again.
Yeah. So, like, when I first started watching it, it was a mixture between wanting to get off, but also out of curiosity. I wanted to... Sex education is so bad. I wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to see... Like, you know, you're going through puberty. I wanted to see how my body would look, how other women's bodies looked, if any women's bodies looked like mine. And, like, in porn, like, especially the stuff that I would see, I think we have this view that porn only has a specific type of woman in it. It doesn't. Like, you have so many different types of bodies, so many different sizes. I'm not saying that this is a positive thing, necessarily, but... There's a huge range of, like, different women in porn.
Like, me and you have spoken about this before, and you know that I don't necessarily agree with that. Because actually the way I saw it was that porn has the same woman's body over and over and over and over and over again. And then the women's bodies who look different get called niches. So if you're a bigger woman, that's a niche. If you're a black woman, that's a fucking niche. If you're a South Asian woman, that's a fucking niche. So basically, if you're white and thin and you got big tits, you're the norm. Anything else and you're a fucking niche. And like that's the way I saw it. Like if you've had, you know, if you've got stretch marks and you've had a baby, you're a fucking niche. That's in the MILF section or whatever. Like you've got all these, like, if you're disabled, that's a niche. You know, if you've like, there's all this other, you know, I don't know, I can't really explain it.
But like you go onto the homepage, like yes, probably the most common porn or the most watched porn would be like that. But you go onto the homepage, and you scroll down, and like there'll be all different sorts of women on there. But I'm not saying that that's because like porn is more progressive. It's just that people fetishize women in different ways.
Yeah, that's what I mean though about it's not because it's inclusive. It's
No,
because
of course
the exploitation of women has niches within it. If like is what you're saying as well.
Yeah. So, and if I am completely honest, I had better biology lessons from porn than I did from science.
Yeah.
About like the way a woman looks and like vagina, vulva. Like in a textbook, it doesn't even show you anything. Boys, they get the full scrotum, they get like everything. In girls, nothing, just says vagina.
Oh, no.
Right, so that actually did. And it comes to something when you learn where a woman or a girl learns more about their anatomy from porn, over-sexualised capitalism, like fucking racist and like exploitative porn than they do science lessons.
Yeah, no,
or sex education
no, yeah, I
lessons.
think you're making a great point.
So I was growing up and I was watching this porn and I felt very, very ashamed.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. But then as I got a bit older, liberal feminism promotes more than anything. It doesn't necessarily promote porn.
Sorry, I'm laughing because whenever we talk about liberal feminism, it makes me want to sing the song from Lego Movie. Because everything is awesome. That's what it's like. Liberal feminism is like, everything is awesome.
And they're all being exploited.
Yeah, and they're all being exploited to fuck all the way through the movie. And then that song just comes on, when you're living the dream. And it's like, you're fucking not.
Anyway,
Sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry.
So that being... It was more sort of mainstream feminism, and mainstream feminism is mainly liberal feminism. And it was sort of showing that, you know, it's good for women to masturbate. It's like it's
porn
normal.
Is empowering.
No. I'm not talking about porn. Like I'm talking about women masturbating.
Oh, okay.
It was liberal feminism that I followed. It didn't necessarily talk about porn being empowering at all, because liberal feminists tend to think that there is such thing as some forms of ethical porn. A lot of liberal feminists are against Pornhub, but and like that sort of taught me that, you know, it's okay to masturbate, and that I found a lot of acceptance in that, and sort of like, oh, okay, so I'm normal. Like I thought that girls weren't supposed to masturbate. I thought girls weren't supposed to orgasm and enjoy it and stuff. And then I felt like a lot better about it, and it never occurred to me that I might be watching something that's exploitation, or the women might be underage, women might not be happy doing it,
or off
stuff
the fucking
like that.
faces.
Oh yeah, I just thought, oh god, they're bad actors or whatever. But they're probably bad actors looking back because they were off their face.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Or because they didn't want to be there. Like they didn't want to do it.
So anyway, eventually I came sort of to the realisation with radical feminism that porn is exploitation. Most women in porn are on drugs or drunk when they shoot, and the reason that they are is because of the pain that's inflicted on them of constantly like shooting scenes, even just having heterosexual sex for hours on like every day or like a couple of days a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to physically hurt you, not to mention the rough sex that is in porn nowadays. And what is it, between 90 and 97% of all porn today includes
violence against
women, which is up from 40 to 50% in the 80s, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So that was something that really struck me, and then I think from then I really struggled with stopping watching porn.
Yeah, I did at first.
And it took me a while to like I had to really stop myself.
Yeah, same. Do you know, actually, I'm obviously we've had a drink and we're being like dead honest and that. Do you know how I weaned myself off porn?
How?
I started reading erotic novels.
I started doing that.
And I don't mean 50 Shades of Grey either.
No.
Because that shit was shit.
Right, okay.
I'm on about like reading, even like fucking people that were just submitting anonymous
short
stories.
Yeah, they're the ones I used to read.
Because I used to think, well, if it's a short story and I've picked my own genre and it's me imagining it and no real people are being exploited, that was how I got myself off it. Like, I got myself off, like, visual porn. And, and then, I don't know, after a bit, I just didn't need any of it. And I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. And it just went away. And, like, one of the things I wanted to, like, ask you was, do you miss it? Do you miss porn? Do you miss watching porn?
No, right. But I have a really interesting story about those, like, erotica reading things. So I never liked lesbian porn because I thought it was just so fake. Those women were not interested in each other. It was very male gazy. I didn't like it. So anyway, I was like, when I was stopping watching porn, I started to read that stuff, the erotica.
Yeah,
that
like lesbian erotica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And I started reading one. I was getting into it. And then I came across this sentence.
You're going to say something diabolical, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I fucking know that face.
She pulled out her hard member.
What? She did?
She pulled out her own. This lesbian pulled out her hard, erect penis.
Why do they say member as well?
I don't know.
It makes me think of gold member.
I don't know, but I was trying to get off and then it turned out that they weren't lesbians. Oh, they can call it lesbian erotica, but it's fucking not, is it? It actually felt like assault. Honestly, do you know what? That felt like assault. Because I had been told that I was about to watch, like, to read lesbian
erotica.
Well, I was when you imagine it, though, like, it's like watching into it.
It's like a little cinema in your head.
Yes, it is. But better, because you get to, But anyway, yeah. No. So, thanks whoever fucking wrote that. I haven't read erotica since.
I'm not
I had
surprised.
to go cold turkey because I was damaged and scarred from it.
I just don't know what to say to that. It's just fucking sign of the times, isn't it? Because apparently lesbians have dicks now.
Yes.
And they pull their hard member out during lesbian erotica stories.
And that's why I've been inundated with hundreds and hundreds of tweets and messages and quote tweets of me
people
saying
being very angry at you.
Saying that lesbians do like dick. And that some lesbians like dick.
Like,
I'm a lesbian, I suck dick every day.
Oh my shitting God.
So anyway.
Words don't have a meaning anymore.
Yes.
So I'm a vegetarian and I eat a steak
not all
a day.
Vegetarians
only eat veggies.
Some vegetarians eat meat.
I am a vegetarian.
I'm a vegetarian. What? Okay, so we've sort of touched on this, probably me more than you. What is your main issue with porn?
My main issue with porn?
Just to
like, if I had to have
get
one.
It down.
If I had to have one?
Yes.
Violence against women and girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's like, porn is interconnected and also stands alone as an issue, a global issue, a systemic issue of violence against women and girls. And once I was able to reframe it as that in my mid-20s, like 24, 25, that was when I started thinking, oh shit, I couldn't be comfortable with it anymore. That was it.
Yeah.
Something just went in my brain and I was like, fuck. So what I mean by this, just to be clear, is that there is the actual violence that happens to those actresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made a real point of going to, I think it's antipornography.org, and I read fucking tons of shit on that website. And antipornography.org teams up with very, very famous porn stars like Jen and Jaimi and people like that. Mainly women, but some men. And they tell the truth about the porn industry in great detail. Their interviews about what it's like to be on set, what drugs they were taking to get them through particular films, what happens if you don't do it, when they were exploited, when they've been threatened, all the things that go on behind the scenes. And reading that just made my blood run cold. So there was that happened, and the amount of times that they're beaten up and exploited and raped, and I read horrific accounts of violence on porn sets. Yeah. So that was the first thing, what I mean about violence. And then the second thing is, I just think that porn contributes to global violence against women in lots of different ways, because it objectifies women, it sexualizes women, it dehumanizes women, it dementalizes women, it encourages the rape of women. We know that porn consumption is related to the acceptance of rape myths, the increase of victim blaming of women and girls, the belief that rape isn't harmful, that women basically make up that rape traumatizes them. It encourages things like rape loopholes, where you're allowed to stage a rape as part of porn and then show it to audiences. Fucking all sorts, man. Porn's got a massive, massive relationship with sexual violence and domestic violence. We also know that porn has a relationship with terrorism. Like, for example, like, you know, domestic violence perpetrators, sexual violence perpetrators, paedophiles, terrorists tend to have a lot of porn on their computers, and like this shit is not a fucking coincidence. So it was just mainly about the way that it perpetuates and encourages and genuinely acts out violence against women and girls. That would be my main issue.
Do you know something that sort of struck me recently?
What, babe?
A lot of liberal feminists argue like, oh, but it's glamorous and like look how well these women are living. Right, Mia Khalifa, she is the biggest porn star of my generation. Everybody knows who she is. Like, in sort of people my age, everybody recognises her. She was probably one of the richest female porn stars, and look how she has come out against it.
Yeah.
For somebody like her to come out and be so anti-porn,
I know, yeah, it
just completely derails any feminist, and I'm using that term with little quote marks, that porn can be like ethical. It can't, because, and it's not empowering, because look what Mia Khalifa said.
Yeah, definitely.
And
that was the same with Jenna Jameson from like my generation.
Yeah, so I don't know who that is.
Like, so older people listening will know who Jenna Jameson is, and younger people listening will know probably who
Mia Khalifa
is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and this isn't us shaming porn stars at all. Like, it's not. I think we need to talk about that. Like,
I'm not fucking shaming them. I'm fucking concerned about, right. The issue is, if you're in it, like, I'm talking, I don't want to get into this in this podcast at all, but like, as someone who was in prostitution and in sex work, when you are fucking in it, you will tell yourself anything to claim that you're empowered and to claim that you're making decisions and that you're the one in control and all that shit. Been there, done that. That's why I don't fucking engage in it on social media. I couldn't give a fuck about you contacting us and being like, oh, I'm pro sex work, pro porn, fuck off, not interested. Like, I know the mental gymnastics you have to go through to tell yourself that you're empowered and that was your choice and that you were completely in control and all that bullshit, right? The thing is, there are so many women and girls, and I say girls as well because there are underage women, i.e. girls, i.e. children, in porn.
Yeah.
And even them at that time, whether they're a woman or a girl, may well believe that they are completely in control and that it's in their best interest, that it's empowering, it's fun, and so on. It don't fucking last, though. No. Never fucking lasts.
No.
And it doesn't matter whether that happens within 2 months or 20 years, but it never fucking lasts. Not met a fucking single person that's come out of sex work, prostitution, or porn yet that's like, yeah, don't regret any of that. That was wicked. I still think it's dead empowering.
As in women and girls,
like,
though.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Not men.
Even women I've met who've come out of the sex industry, they don't want that for their fucking daughters.
Of course
they don't fucking want that for their female relatives. There's a fucking reason for that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about, it's not about shame. Like,
it's like, not critical of never critical of the sex worker.
Exactly.
Critical of
society,
the exploitation.
The industry.
It's exploitation. It's capitalism. It's patriarchy. It's abuse. It's power. It's control.
It's never about the individual woman.
No, never, ever, ever.
That's like when people go, radfems hate, sex workers. Radfems hate porn actresses. No, we fucking don't.
Even though radfems are made up of lesbians, pretty much, and ex-sex workers.
Yeah.
And also, there's people who claim that, like, having an OnlyFans is the same as prostitution, and
Is
it's
it
not.
fuck?
It's not. Like selling.
Tell you fucking what, it would have made a damn sight difference to a lot of people, including me, like women, including me, if we were doing OnlyFans instead of prostitution, because prostitution is terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what anyone's got to say about that. It's fucking terrifying. And even if you think you know the client, and even though you think you've got a relationship with them and you've already met them 6 times and they were sound or whatever, it's fucking terrifying. And like, it is like you always say when we're talking about it, it is not the fucking same being behind a webcam in your fucking bedroom, fucking masturbating to a webcam. Not the fucking same as having to go and meet some fucking guy who's contacted you once and is offering you a bit of money so you can pay your fucking rent
and feed your kid. Yeah,
so you'll shag him and then he fucking takes his dick out, fucking pulls his trousers up, goes back to his fucking wife and children. Not the fucking same at all. Not the same at all.
And it's the violence as well that goes with that.
Yeah.
And it's the same in porn as well. Like, just because they might not, the other porn actor who they are, like, having sex with might not be the one, but it's the producers, the pimps, who will
and everyone else involved, the crew, the fucking directors,
They
everybody.
reckon, don't they, that
Agents.
there was that ex-porn actress who said that 90% of everyone who works in porn, so that's actors, crew, cast, like anyone,
directors,
is on drugs.
Managers, everyone,
are on drugs. It's not a healthy industry.
Of course it fucking isn't.
It's just...
That was one of the... So, like, the reason we got onto this discussion, because we were talking about, like, what was wrong with it and, like, what our issues were with it. All of this stuff is why I stopped watching it. I read some stuff around that time that really made me question it, and then I just carried on researching it. And, you know, for someone who... I was very much live and let live. I was like, oh, let everybody do what they want. And, like, if you want to watch porn, you watch porn. If you want to go see a prostitute, you go fucking see a prostitute. And if you want to go to a strip club, you go to a strip club. And, like, I was very much like, your people's business is people's business. And, like, you just do whatever the fuck you want in private. Like, no, I'm sorry. When you start fucking encroaching on people's human rights, you can fuck straight off. And that's how I see it now.
Yeah.
But that's not how I saw it when I was younger. And I think you have to, like, be open to critical thinking and your own psychological development. And that's what happened with this.
Yeah. Julie Bindel put a quote, I can't remember who it was from, in her book, Pimping and Prostitution.
Yeah.
And it said, what was it? If a woman's hungry, you should put food in her mouth, not your dick.
Oh, what's it? Oh, fucking hell.
I can't remember who it was.
Hang on a minute. I've got to look that up because it's going to piss me off.
Yeah.
I know exactly who that is, and it's going to come to me as I'm doing this quote.
But it's just so true. Like, you can't buy consent.
It's Rachel, what's her face? Oh, shit.
Google it.
It's going to piss me off now.
But yeah, you can't buy consent because otherwise it's not true consent. And, like, people can argue, yeah, but you don't really want to go to your job. Yeah, but at your job... Like, at your job at McDonald's or, like, whatever it is, you're not at risk of being raped or put in danger or harm or being physically hurt, right? And if you are...
It's Rachel Moran, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it fucking is.
Oh, I didn't know it was Rachel. Say that like I know her. I don't...
No, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure that's who it is who said that. And then Julie probably would have cited Rachel.
She did. It was cited.
For sure, I think it's Rachel. That was who came to my head straight away, and then I've just Googled it, and I think it is Rachel.
Yeah.
Go on.
What was it?
Sorry, baby. That was totally my fault. It was because, like, you know when you, like, cite what a woman said, and it does your head in because you know who it is, and then you have to remember which feminist said it.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying there.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is going to be so annoying to the listeners because the listeners are going to know exactly what you're fucking talking about.
And if you are to be, like, in physical danger, then that's not an acceptable...
What, at work?
Yeah, if you're to be... Yeah, then it's not acceptable. Like, yeah, some people are at risk of being in danger at work, but most of us, or, well, all of us on the left, it's a grassroots workers movement in the left wing, is that well then that shouldn't be an option. So you can't then turn around and just say, oh well, it's like any other. When what is it? What's the percentage of, or the average lifespan of a prostitute?
So like women in prostitution or so-called like sex work, I think mortality rates are 40 times higher than a woman in the general population.
Yeah, and we do not accept that in any other.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine being like, if you worked at New Look, your mortality rate's 40 times higher. People would be like, fuck that.
Right, and people like, and even places that are unionised, like there's the argument, oh, well, there should be unions for them. And what are they going to do? The criminal justice system is fucked. We're in a patriarchal society. It's fucked. We're in a right-wing capitalist world. We're fucked. You can't then, like, argue that we can sell consent, especially considering that the majority of women who are in porn and prostitution have been trafficked. It's not, sort of middle to, like, working class to middle class young girls in their bedrooms.
No, I know.
Making £30 an hour. Taking pictures of their underwear, and nobody knows who they are, what their face looks like, or their address.
That point pisses me off.
I'm not saying that
more than anything.
That's empowering, but it's not the same.
No, but that's the point that pisses me off more than anything, is the people that will come at me being like, porn is empowering, sex work is empowering, and that they should be able to make a choice to do that job, and that, radical feminists are just lumping it all in together. Like, fuck off, man. Globally, radical feminism is supposed to be global, i.e. non-racist. It's supposed to be inclusive of all different women all over the world, right? And if you want to talk statistics with me, then let's have a talk about the fact that globally, sex work, porn, prostitution, all forms of, like, whatever's classed as the sex industry, right? It disproportionately affects black women.
Yeah.
Right? Black women in poverty, right?
Yes.
So you're going to fucking come at me as a fucking 21-year-old middle-class fucking white girl on OnlyFans and tell me that we're fucking wrong. Bollocks. What about all the children that have been trafficked into these industries? All these fucking Indian children, fucking black children. What the fuck are you going to do? You're going to turn around and tell me, oh, that's not the same, that's not the same.
But also,
fuck off.
Like, even on a more shallow level, porn is so racist towards, like, men and women, but as in like black men, Asian men, black women, Asian women.
It's extremely racist.
And it fetishises them.
Yeah, it does.
It fetishises the fact that they are black or they are Asian.
It uses it as a selling point.
Yeah.
It's a similar, I can't get into this podcast, but mail order brides and the buying and selling of women as commodities, as wives and girlfriends. They usually have search functions that would be like, what ethnicity do you want? How much do you want it to weigh? What height do you want? How big a bra size do you want it to be? It's the same with porn. It's exactly the same with porn. That's what you search for, keywords.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think the solution is?
What do I think the solution is?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to fucking sit here and be like, I think we should ban all porn, because they fucking won't do it. It's not because, trust me, if I thought there was a way of honestly banning porn, I'd do it. And I'm not interested.
Something else would just replace it though if we did it like that.
I don't know. Just fucking. Like, there's other things that are banned that we don't fucking have that everyone takes seriously. Things like fucking snuff porn. And that's totally banned in this country, and it's dead hard to get hold of. It's completely. Don't get me wrong, it's on the fucking black market, it's on the dark web. You can get hold of it, but it's fucking dangerous, and you can't get hold of it easily. So it's fucking porn where you like murder and severely torture the one, like, it's very, very serious, very, very like illegal. But the thing is, people will go to, oh, you can't make porn illegal, it won't work. Well, it fucking works when you fucking make some of it illegal, innit? But anyway, so on that basis, I would argue that the first thing we need to do is completely like rejig education and talk to people. And I think we need to talk about it in the media. There needs to be adverts on the TV. We need to talk about it in fucking plots, soaps, everything. We should be constantly talking about how.
But we should be liberating women so that they don't have to go into these industries. And when you've got students who, it's primarily OnlyFans are students.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because they don't have enough fucking money.
No, I know.
So we need to be
liberating. Because we push them into poverty.
women in poverty. And I think that is all the time we have. I'd love to talk about it more.
I could talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
It's fucking angering.
Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Have a great night.